Welcome to Dancing with Time, hosted by Beth Amin and me, Patty Teal. This podcast is all about self-care, inspiring and supporting each other to live our essential nature, which is timeless. I'm not young, I'm not old, I just am. Join us for conversation, movement, and meditation. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Dancing with Time with myself, Beth Amin, and my beautiful dear friend, Patty Teal. We're so happy that you're joining us again for this podcast, which is all about the joy of self-care. And Dancing with Time really means living your most authentic life ever and letting it evolve and living in your most vibrant now ever as your life is continuously evolving. And that is what we call Dancing with Time. So we have a fun topic that came up for us this week, as we always do, and it kind of relates a little bit to our last podcast. So it's almost the sequel to what we were speaking about last week. And Patty, let us know the topic for this week, or clue everyone in.
Yes, I need to explain it a little bit because it's kind of giving up, but I wouldn't recommend giving up on your dreams. That's not what it is. But in my case, I have found that when I kind of get to the point where I don't know if it's ever going to happen, I give up some goal that I have, some wonderful ambition. That's when it happens. And it happened this week. I was trying to connect with someone for a business opportunity. And I thought I'd be the perfect match for what he was looking for. But then I didn't hear back and I got discouraged and I said, I give up. And right after I did that, I checked my email and there he was wanting to get in touch. And I was amazed, and it's working out to be a wonderful opportunity. And I remembered back in my lifetime that that's not the first time that this has happened to me. When I kind of give up, great things happen. But I think it's because I clutch too tightly on things. I'd much rather keep the positive attitude and keep that vision in my mind of what's going to happen and just go about my life happily. But I think because I clutch it so tightly, when I do release the grip and give up, great things happen. So, Beth?
Well, I'll tell you, Patty, I heard I read this thing last week and I was like shocked. It said, if you're chasing something, it's running away from you. And I went like, oh yeah, if I'm like chasing that thing, I'm not there with that thing can't show up because it's running.
It's running as fast as it can. Yeah.
So, and then I also think that there's all kinds of, like, there's many paths to self-care. There's many paths to this whole thing you're talking about, the giving up thing. It's called non-resistance, non-attachment, letting go, allowing, release, I don't care, I
surrender.
Give up. What was that one?
Surrender.
Yeah. And so all these states of being really allow us, like you said, to not clutch so tight, not to have our mind so wrapped around it that forces that you're generating beyond you as a creative being can't even join in and help. So I think it's very powerful. And I like you. It's okay. I mean, you feel like you want to be super enlightened and just go, oh, here's my dream. And let it be fulfilled and go on my business.
It'd be much more fun to never get to the point of being discouraged and just going, I give up. It'd be much better. And I remember actually talking to Pamela Osley, who's, an incredible psychic and a very evolved soul. And I told her that that's when things happened for me. I remember this. Now I'm going back 15 years. And she said, well, that's not how she does things. I just lose my, my charge, excuse me. Anyway, I'll go back.
Okay. Well,
okay. Oh,
where was I? My shirt. Oh, so, that's Pamela Osley said that's not how she does things.
So when I shared this observance of myself and how when I give up things happen, good things, she said that's not how she does things, because I think she and other people I know are able to envision this wonderful future, whatever it is manifesting. They feel it, they're living it, but they're not thinking about it every 5 minutes. They've put it out there. They're confident it's going to happen and they just relax. And of course, I think that would be a better way to go about things. But if you're feeling like you give up, just watch out. Something wonderful might happen, but don't expect it. Don't cling on to it.
Yeah, we don't, it's okay to not put a value judgment on your method. Like I said, there's just many roads to the same thing. And
Mhm.
that whole, yeah,
And my method was totally unconscious. I didn't
yeah.
purposely give up so that something good would happen.
And
I
there's
just truly gave up.
well, good. Yeah, that's very powerful. You truly give it. And that's very powerful. And I think it allows the dream to exist. They say one thing that those people are doing unconsciously or consciously is that believing that it's already happened. That's why they can let go. It's done. It's because it's already here. And then I will just allow it to show up. So yeah, that is a
Yes,
great
if you could get
level.
to that state, and
Yeah.
I sometimes have difficulty with that. I get stuck with the reality and
Yeah.
looking around with what is around me.
Of
But if
course.
you can get to that beautiful state, I imagine that is the most powerful of all.
Yes. And that's what we were talking about last week. How do you maintain that when you're looking at your current, what you've created currently with your thoughts, and to go
Mhm.
like, oh, that's just my current creation.
So, Beth, too,
Yeah.
it's very similar to the serenity prayer that they use so often in AA. And my mother used to have it embroidered on the wall that I think I have the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because I think I had put in the work. I tried to do what I could. And when you've done that, then just let it go and see what happens.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what
Oh,
like
hold on a second. Hold on a second. We got another interruption. Okay. So,
yeah, and I think that's what Abraham Hicks calls the art of allowing. And I think it's challenging for us a lot because culturally we're taught to force things, right? You've got to just like boom, boom, boom. That's the masculine, you just got to keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, where the feminine would allow it to come in. The receptive mode is something we all need to learn. And it's really fun. It's actually very relaxing. I've been practicing it. And I think things are happening for me too. And it's challenging for my type of personality because I am kind of a go-getter and I will like persevere and blah, blah, blah. But at a certain point, you have to co-create with everything that makes things happen. We don't singularly make anything happen. We're very united in fields of energy and other people for sure. So
right.
the just the relaxation of sitting back and letting it go and attending to other things often will just allow that dream some room to
Right. And
materialize.
I think you say you've been working on it lately. I think this has been my big lesson my whole life.
Really?
It's just, yes, every huge challenge that I've had in life with my children, whatever the challenge happens to be, it's not until I almost get to the point of giving up. Or let's surrendering. Let's use a nicer word than giving up.
Okay.
Then things happen. They come around. It all gets better because I'm not flinching at it.
Oh yeah, it's so powerful in a very it's so powerful that it's almost hard to do because it's all that letting go. And in fact, that kind of leads me into some of our questions from our viewers, Patty.
Okay.
So I start with one and then
Go ahead.
You had one. Okay. So my question was, what's the best way to get into the receiving mode? So, and that's what we were just speaking about. That comes from someone here in Santa Barbara. And so, in other words, how do you actually let go? I know we might say what you and I do, which is movement will do it, meditation will do it. And I also know that in my life, just distraction, like they say, oh, something that you love, like think about your pet or pet your cat or pet your dog. Or I know that for me, it's like doing whatever I do to have fun, really just like, that is the receptive mode as well. It's just when you're in state of enjoyment, you let everything come in. So I know fun for me is often hanging out with all my dance buddies and, or just breathing and looking at my apple tree,
Mhm.
like do its crazy thing. And just, the simplest things can just put you in a sense of fun and enjoyment and relaxation. And that is how you start to get into that receptive mode. What about anything? What was your question, Patty? Oh, do you have any thoughts on that? Like, how do you get in the receptive mode?
Oh no, I think your tips are very good. When you get into that meditative space, and I think that's why meditation is so powerful
Yes,
too.
yes,
You're in that state of nothingness.
yes,
So when you're in that state of nothingness, where there's a vastness that it can't even be put into words.
yeah.
You're not clenching onto anything. You're not clinging onto anything. You just are, you're just there.
Just
I am, as you said.
are.
Yeah.
I'm not young, I'm not old, I just am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the question that I received was, how do you surrender? So it's very similar,
Uh-huh.
but it goes on to say when you want something so badly
Mhm.
for a loved one, especially a grown
Yes,
child.
yes.
And I have personally been through that experience. Sometimes our kids get off track in their teen years or whenever, and it can be so very painful for a parent. And I can't say I went through it so easily by just meditating or taking hikes. I did do all of that, but I remember actually having a funeral for myself and just
Oh, I
like
remember that. Yes, that's a,
crying and just letting go. It was more of a dramatic letting go, like the death to that self, and I have to be reborn. If I'm going to live, I have to know that I cannot fix this. It's really beyond me. And so that
mm,
seemed to change everything very quickly. I mean, it was amazing how that surrender is so very, very powerful. And, it's come back around in my life in many areas again. And I have to remember that because really everybody's on their own path. We can visualize beautiful things for them and we can pray for them. And I'm sure that's powerful. But after you do that, you have to just let them be on their own journey. So,
you
um,
gave up.
and then it gets better.
And then it gets better.
So,
It's just that is the craziest thing.
but
It's
I
just
don't give up easy. So that's definitely a challenge for me.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. And that is really also very powerful about the whole thing about kind of letting go of your expectations and letting go of who you thought you had to be and letting go of what you thought you had to do and letting go of how you feel. Like these are all clenching things, how you had
Yes.
to be responsible for that and all that.
Yeah.
That's all the letting go that, and that's really our main focus too. How do you create the authenticity of your own unique life without all these things from the past struggle,
Right.
or certain things that your mind has taken on that really restrict your essential joy in a
Right.
way. So that's kind of our
Yeah.
topic
Right. And
in a
at the
nutshell
time
too.
too, I had prayer beads and I would
Yeah.
say a mantra that a friend shared with me. Sometimes these mantras, when they're in another language, they say that just the vibration of the sound is powerful, even if you
Mhm.
don't know the words and it's not your language. And I still remember it because I said it tens of thousands of times probably, but it's Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And it means I surrender to the highest. So when you've done all you can, task wise, I've done all I can and I can't do any more. Try Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or you could say it in English, I surrender to the highest.
And is that Sanskrit? Patty?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful, the sound is beautiful. That's a
Mm-hmm.
lovely tip too. Maybe we'll write that in our notes from
Okay.
our podcast. So,
Okay.
so before we go into our movement and meditation sections, that was so fascinating, Patty. I wanted to just review the 4 questions that we always ask you guys to ask yourselves. Part of our questions. One is, what am I feeling now? This is all part of your self-care, to be in tune with yourself at all times. So, because, it's your game. So, who am I now? Or what am I feeling now? Oh, who am I now is the course we're going to do. We'll tell you
Uh-huh.
about that either next week. What am I feeling now? What do I desire or want now? Like, What do you, what's your creation? What do you want to create for yourself now? Is there a thought I'm thinking right now that I can create a better feeling thought? So if you're thinking something about yourself or something that's distressing you or irritating you, am I thinking something that's irritating me or whatever, or not making me feel good? And what would a better thought be? One that would make me happier, a reinterpretation of that situation. And then number fourth question, how can I be kind to myself right now? So remember to get involved with that a little bit. And Patty, is there anything that we want to say before we do our movement and meditation sections? And Patty and I really feel that, I asked you that these two practices are one of the at the top of self-care. So go ahead, Patty, what were you going to say?
No. Beautiful. I am going to remember those as I go through the rest of my day. And especially to be kind to myself. I love that. What a great ending question. So are we ready for your movement, Beth?
Oh, I guess we're going to do movement. I'm just going to back it up. So we can just get up. If you're in your chair, you can still do all these moves, no problem. Just lift your feet. It's amazing how much you can do in a chair. You can lift your legs, lift your arms, breathe, do all the same things. And if you're listening just on the audio from our podcast without this video on YouTube, just please do as much as you can. Even if you listen and I'm saying, lift your arms up to the side and take a deep breath in, you can just use the words and whatever movement you get is going to be beneficial. Okay, so here we go. Hello, welcome to the movement section of our podcast, Dancing with Time, the Joy of Self-Care. I'm Beth Amin, and this is some joyous movement. So whether you're seated, standing, or just listening to the audio, just follow on along. Right now, I'm shifting my weight from one foot to the other with a slight bend in the knee, just kind of get in the groove here. Yeah. Here we go. Now add your arms. Let them rotate a little bit, side to side. We're going to do a footwork. I want you to just have one foot come on forward, touch that toe, and bring it back. Toe and back. I'll do it slow. Toe, place, toe. And notice my legs are slightly bending. Otherwise, I don't get that little dance groove. So it's toe, bend the knees, toe, bend, toe. Up, down. Yeah, good. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah. Good. That's it. Now let's reach with the opposite hand and the foot going out. Just kind of like a groovy walk. Yeah. And walk it back. All right, now the breath. Extend your feet, palms up, take a deep, deep breath in and let the palms down. I can't stop moving, so I like my hips to go side to side while I'm taking these breaths. Just feels good. We are in the groove. We are in the flow. Here we go. Palms up. Take a breath. Exhale down. Palms down. Palms up. Palms down. Yeah. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Oh, yeah. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, let's take those arms all the way around. And if you need to do it slowly, that is wonderful too. In fact, we all can do it slowly. Really feel all those core muscles. Soften your knees a little when you come around. Good. And now let's take a little twist. You can use your feet, turning on that foot. Have a nice little twist. I like that little song. We're going to play it again. Here we go. Okay. We're at that little twist from side to side. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a reach. And continue my breathing with that reach and a reach. Reach. Breathing in and breathing out. Yes. And across the body. And notice that I'm still using my knees with a slight bend. foot together, other direction, touch with the toe. It's a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can let your arms go, maybe in a rotating motion with those elbows. And it's amazing how this very simple 4-count step is used in dances all over the world. From the hula to some East African, or some hip hop maybe. Here we go. It's a step, together, step to the side, touch the toe. It's a step, together, step to the side, touch the toe. Here we go. You can even move that forward if you want. Hello. Hey. Hey everyone. Yeah, your little groove for today. And we're going to go back to our breathing. Extend your stance. Biggest breath you can. Let it out. Arms out. Biggest breath. Let it out. Really great. Thank you so much for joining me and Patty today. She's going to have your meditation segment next. Big hug. Big kisses. See you next week. Beth Amin, Joyce Movement, Dancing with Time. Mwah!
This meditation is to help you be at peace with yourself, no matter what your circumstances. Sit or lie down with your palms facing upward. Close your eyes and get comfortable. Relax your toes, your feet, then your lower legs, knees, thighs, pelvis, hips, belly, rib area, chest, collarbone, and neck. Relax your fingers, hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, and shoulders. Relax your face. Make sure there's no tension in your jaw, mouth, cheeks, eyes, and forehead. Mentally scan your body for any remaining discomfort or tightness, and purposely relax that part of your body. Feel a tingling in the top of your head as your crown chakra opens. Pay attention to your breathing. You don't need to try to change it in any way. Just watch yourself being breathed. Feel kindness toward yourself. No matter whether or not you are where you want to be in your life, feel kind toward yourself. Every place that you've been, every person that you've met, every job that you've done, every soul that you've loved, it's all a part of your beautiful life's journey, your adventure. Make peace with where you are. Make peace with your choices without judgment. Be your own best friend. It doesn't mean that you're giving up on your goals, but remember, enjoy the journey. It has shaped you into the amazing person that you are. Sit quietly, appreciating yourself and all you've done, and all you have yet to do. Watch your breath and feel yourself at ease, at peace with yourself. Breathing in, I am at peace with myself. Breathing out, I am at peace with myself. Breathing in, I am at peace with myself. Breathing out, I am at peace with myself. In and out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Stay here and relax for as long as you'd like. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and reorient yourself to your environment. Keep the feeling of peace with you wherever you go and whatever you do.